Most people in their early 20s think financial planning is about getting rich quick, buying stocks, getting into crypto, finding a side hustle, building passive income, becoming a millionaire by 25. It is not. The biggest money mistake you can make right now is confusing income with wealth. Because if you do not change your habits at 22, you are not building passive income. You are walking straight into a trap. Here is how to avoid becoming financially stuck by 35, bypass the debt trap, and build actual financial freedom while you still have time on your side. That is what nobody tells you when you are 20 or 21 or 24. And today we are going to fix that. Quick note before we get into it. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, CPA, or attorney, and this is not financial, legal, or tax advice. Full disclaimer is in the description. Let's get into it. Here is the core idea that everything else builds on. Financial planning is not about getting rich quickly. It is about making sure future you is not trapped. Say that again to yourself, because it reframes everything. Most people your age hear financial planning and immediately think stocks, crypto, side hustles, passive income, becoming a millionaire, or finding the next big opportunity. Social media has made this worse. Your feed is full of 23-year-olds talking about their portfolios, their rental properties, their drop shipping businesses, their six-figure months. And so young adults show up to money planning with the wrong question. They ask, how do I get rich fast? When the real question is, how do I make sure I am not stuck at 35? The goal is not to be rich by 25. The goal is to avoid becoming financially stuck by 35. Those are completely different goals, and they lead to completely different decisions. Now let's talk about the 5 specific misunderstandings that keep young people from building the financial foundation that actually matters. These are not abstract concepts. These are the exact thinking patterns that lead people to wake up at 32 wondering where all the income went. Misunderstanding number 1. They underestimate time. At 20 to 25, time is your single greatest financial advantage. More powerful than a high salary. More powerful than a hot investment. More powerful than any side hustle. But most young people waste this advantage because investing small amounts feels pointless. The thought is, I only have $50 or $100. That will not matter. Here is the reality. $100 a month starting at age 22, invested at a 7% annual return, grows to roughly $293,000 by age 65. That is from $100 a month, less than most people spend on subscriptions without thinking about it. But here's the part that stings. Wait until 32 to start that same $100 a month at the same return, and you end up with about $143,000. The 10-year delay cost you $150,000. Small money plus a long time beats big money started too late. Every single time. The habit is the point right now. The amount grows later. And the data confirms that young people are not moving on this. According to the Bank of America 2025 Better Money Habits study, only 25% of Gen Z contributed to a retirement account in the last year. Only 21% invested in the stock market at all. 3 out of 4 people your age are sitting on their most powerful financial asset, which is time, and doing nothing with it. Misunderstanding number 2. They confuse income with financial progress. This is one of the most common traps. A lot of young people think the plan is, once I make more money, then I will get serious. Once I get that raise, once I finish paying off the car, once I land the better job. But higher income does not automatically create wealth. Research consistently shows that as income goes up, spending rises right along with it. This is called lifestyle inflation, and we have covered it in depth on this channel. Many people make more money and simply upgrade everything around them while their savings rate stays exactly the same. The real question is not just how much do I make, it is how much of my income do I keep, invest, and protect. According to a 2025 Citizens Bank survey, only 15% of Gen Z adults say they are extremely confident in their ability to achieve financial success. And more than 68% are still leaning on their parents for essentials like rent, groceries, and bills. This is not a judgment. It reflects real economic pressure, but it also shows that income alone is not solving the problem. The behavior around income is what changes the outcome. A person earning $45,000 who saves and invests 20% of their income is building more wealth than a person earning $90,000 who saves nothing. The math is not complicated. The behavior is the hard part. Misunderstanding number 3. They think budgeting means restriction. Say the word budget to most 22-year-olds and you will see their eyes glaze over. Because they hear the word budget and they think it means saying no to everything fun. No coffee shops. No travel. No nights out. Just a sad spreadsheet and a life of sacrifice. That is not what budgeting is. A budget is a decision about what your money is actually for. It is not about restriction. It is about intentionality. It is about deciding which things are worth trading your future freedom for, and which things are quietly draining your options without adding anything real to your life. A good budget does not say no to everything. It says, spend on what actually matters to you and stop leaking money on what does not. According to the Bank of America 2025 study, 57% of Gen Z buy themselves a small treat at least once a week, and 59% say this leads to overspending. That is not a moral failing, that is a behavior pattern without intention behind it. The fix is not suffering, it is clarity. Know where the money is going. Decide if that is where you actually want it to go. One practical reframe that actually works for this age group. Instead of thinking about a budget as a restriction, think of it as a trade. Every dollar you spend on something that does not matter is a dollar you are trading for less freedom later. Every dollar you protect and invest is a dollar buying you options. You're not saying no to things. You're deciding what your freedom is worth to you. Misunderstanding number 4, they focus too much on returns and not enough on behavior. Ask a 23-year-old what financial planning looks like, and they will probably say something about stocks. Or crypto. Or finding the next thing that explodes. What should I invest in? How do I make passive income? What is the fastest way to grow money? These are not bad questions, but they are the wrong first questions. Because for most people, your age, the limiting factor is not the investment. It is the behavior behind the investment. Do you save consistently even when it feels small? Do you avoid high-interest debt that erodes your financial foundation? Do you invest automatically so the decision is already made before you can talk yourself out of it? Do you build skills that increase your income over time? Do you avoid letting lifestyle creep absorb every raise before you ever see it? Financial planning is almost always won by consistency, not genius. The person who puts $200 a month into a basic index fund for 40 years will almost always outperform the person who chases hot tips and trades in and out of positions looking for a breakthrough. Gen Z gets just 38% of personal finance questions right on average, according to the 2025 PFIN Index, a national financial literacy study, the lowest of any adult generation. And risk comprehension, meaning understanding how debt, interest, and investment risk actually work, was only answered correctly 32% of the time by Gen Z respondents. That gap between what young people think they know about money and what is actually true is exactly where behavior goes wrong. You do not need genius-level financial moves. You need reliable financial behavior. Those are very different things, and only one of them is actually in your control. Misunderstanding number 5, they do not realize debt can steal their future options. This one is the quietest and the most dangerous. Credit cards, car loans, student loans, buy now, pay later, and lifestyle debt can quietly remove your flexibility before you ever realize what happened. The danger is not just the monthly payment. Most people understand the monthly payment. The danger is that debt can decide your future before you get there. Debt affects where you can live, what job you can afford to take or walk away from, Whether you can start a business, whether you can move to a new city, whether you can invest, how much financial stress you carry into every relationship and every major decision you make. Look at the numbers. Gen Z consumers carry an average credit card balance of around $3,493. That sounds manageable. But credit card interest rates are currently sitting at around 21% APR on average in 2026. At 21% interest, a $3,500 balance that you pay the minimum on takes over 10 years to pay off and costs you more than $3,600 in interest alone. You end up paying nearly double for whatever you bought. And nearly 2 in 3 Americans with credit card debt say they have delayed or avoided major financial decisions because of that debt. They delayed saving for an emergency. They delayed investing. They delayed buying a vehicle. Some delayed continuing education or changing jobs or even getting married. That is not just a financial problem. That is a life options problem. The goal at 20 to 25 is not to be debt-free overnight. That is not realistic for most people with student loans or a car payment. The goal is to be intentional about what debt you take on. Aggressive about eliminating high-interest debt as fast as possible. And deeply aware that every dollar of high-interest debt you carry is not just costing you money. It is costing you future options. So let's bring all 5 of these together. The biggest misunderstanding is believing financial planning is about getting rich quickly, when it is really about building freedom, flexibility, and protection before life gets expensive. At 22, you're not trying to be a millionaire by 25. You're trying to make sure that at 35, you have options, that you can make job decisions based on what you want, not what you owe, that you can handle a financial emergency without it destroying you, that your money is quietly working for you even when your income is still modest. That debt does not decide your future before you do. The habits you build right now, not 5 years from now, not after the next raise, right now, are what determine whether future you looks back grateful or looks back wishing someone had told you this earlier. Someone is telling you now. If this video gave you a different way of thinking about money than you had before, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this early. And check out my other videos on how to start your retirement plan in your 20s, the real cost of lifestyle creep, and how to build a budget that does not make you miserable. All linked in the description. Drop a comment below. Which one of these 5 misunderstandings hit closest to home for you? Until next time, make the move.